What's up, you beautiful collectors and action figure fans? Once again, it is the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to the absolutely incredible folks over at EXO-6, we're going to be taking a look at their new 1/6 scale Captain Jean-Luc Picard as he appeared in Star Trek First Contact. Now, for me, when I got my hands on their 1/6 scale data, I instantly was blown away, and I could not have been more excited about their future releases. The thing that's really very impressive is these are coming fairly quickly. While this one has just released, pre-orders for their Captain Janeway has already gone live and is scheduled for release towards the end of 2021, which we're already almost there. So in terms of 1/6 scale releases, EXO-6 is lightning fast. Like I said, that data figure blew me away. And their next release is Jean-Luc Picard, one of the most decorated captains in all of Starfleet. This is actually the second Jean-Luc Picard figure that we've gotten in terms of 1/6 scale format. The previous one was released by the folks over at Quantum Mechanics, but as I explained in my data review, one of the key people that was with Quantum Mechanics when they were developing that 6 scale line has moved on and is now part of EXO-6, which is where you're seeing a lot of this stuff kind of come from. For the package, though, absolutely gorgeous. You got a really cool image of Jean-Luc Picard right there. You got the very nice foil text right here with Star Trek First Contact. You got the Delta logo right there come around to the side, and you got that absolutely gorgeous Star Trek First Contact poster art. You got the Borg, you got the Borg Queen. I really hope that we get the Borg Queen at some point. That would be amazing. I mean, literally, you could do every version of these Star Trek characters, and I would be just thrilled. Come around to this side, you got that 25th anniversary logo of Star Trek First Contact there. Then when you come around to the back of the package, you got the product shots, warnings, contact information, all that fun stuff, all the different accessories that he comes with. And then when you slide this up, it is a slip sleeve style cover. You come around to the back, and here are the credits for the EXO-6 team, including the person that I know being David. Really cool guy that I met several times over at San Diego Comic-Con, and just has a passion for these, and it really does show. And then obviously when you come around to the front of the package, you got an open window that fully showcases the figure as well as all of his accessories. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. And here we have the 1/6 scale Captain Picard from Star Trek First Contact opened up and out of his packaging. And again, I am absolutely blown away by what EXO-6 has done here. This guy turned out fantastic. Now, starting off first, coming down to take a look at his accessories, while he does come with a pretty decent amount, for the most part, they are what we got with that Lieutenant Commander data release. In addition to the two fairly relaxed hands that he has, you get a right hand here that is done up in a kind of phaser firing position, where you can see that you can put the phaser in there. I mean, I guess you could maybe even use that. No, that's more the trigger one. So that's more designed for the small hand phaser. You also do have a right one, which is designed for the phaser rifle itself. So putting that there, you get a pair of fisted hands, which look pretty good. You get a left hand that works really nicely to kind of cradle the rifle. And then you do get a left hand here that works really nicely with his tricorder. Showing off the rifle itself. Looks really very nice. Again, gorgeous paint applications throughout there. The silver looks really good. The sculpt is really nice. Everywhere around it, it has a tremendous amount of detail and absolutely captures that look that it had in the film. As I was showing off before, you do have the little hand phaser. This one looks fantastic as well. Far more accurate to the film than that Quantum Mechanics one that came out a few years ago. Which is fine, because the original series, or I should say the Next Generation series, did have a slightly different look for both the phaser and the rifle. So it makes sense that this would be updated. You also do get the little holster for it, so you can slide that in very nicely. And then you do have the magnet section, which comes around here. And you can attach that right there magnetically to his little pant section. You also do get his tricorder. Again, absolutely gorgeous. I love how they did this And it really does utilize some of that stuff that we saw with what quantum mechanics was doing. You got that very nice detail on there. You got the little ridge sections on the back. You got the little light bits. Then you can open it up. It is two separate pieces, but the magnet works both ways. So you got that really gorgeous detail on the inside there, looking incredibly accurate. Again, I love how they do that, where you can just close it and then open it. It's a simple use of magnets, but it works really nicely. And then you can take the palm here, just kind of wedge that in there, and now Picard can walk around using his tricorder. I don't know if I remember seeing him use the tricorder in the film, and honestly, I don't know if he actually had the tricorder on his person, but again, you got the magnet right there that now comes around to the other side and sticks right there, completing the look. The other thing that you get is his vest. Now, the jacket on him can be removed, and you can have this just regular captain's vest on here. I'll show how to do that here in a second, but again, absolute gorgeous detail on here. The stitch work, the color match, all looks really good. The communicator badge looks really nice. Maybe it's a little bit crooked, but I don't know, that doesn't bother me too terribly much, but you do have that, and I'll show how to put that on them. Now, I messed up last time. They also include this. This, as you can see, is Lieutenant Commander Data's Starfleet personnel file. This is meant to be a autograph piece, which is really cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with the autograph or anything, but that is neat that they include that. Captain Picard comes with one as well. It is on the underside. It's a little bit, well, let me see. I didn't notice it last time because it's on the inner tray here. This is the plastic tray. It's on the underside of it, and I didn't notice it before, but I did notice it with Captain Picard, and I went back and I did find Data. So you do have both of them. I really like it. You got the Enterprise E right there. You can see NCC 1701E. Gorgeous detail. Looks like the LCARS screen, which is really neat. And then this can actually work with the display base, which is cool. Now, I do have two of them set up here because I want to show it. Now, you do get the two different plates that you can swap out very easily. This is one of the other ones. That's the one that you get in that one. This is my Data one. But what you can do, you get this little clear piece that will kind of wedge right down there proper. Put that down like that. And then it's got a little lip right here that you take this and you put that on there. Got a little bit of schmutz on there. And now you have kind of a little display, which I think is fantastic. I love the way that looks. If I can get these autographed, I would be super excited, but I'm not a big autograph person. But as I was saying, you do get both of these display sections. Now, obviously, this is my Data base, so you just get the extra card piece for both of these. I mean, you know what I'm saying. But now you have this. Now, this is the center section of the transporter pad. This is meant to go on the outside here, so kind of, you can move this around. I like how you can actually adjust that around. So if this is the centerpiece, you can take this and kind of make that an extension of the pad itself, which now will wrap all the way around, and you'll be able to create an actual diorama transporter pad, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And what you do with this, you got a little clip piece right here that you're going to just, again, slide that down, bring this up, and these connect very nicely. Now I'm going to move this towards the front, things like that. Now, because I only have two, I can't really show it off all that well, but you can take this and you can put him right there standing on the transporter pad, because they didn't really stand on this. If I'm not mistaken, the center one was used for like cargo or something like that, but you can have him standing on the pad. Now, you also do get these bits right here. Now, this is meant to, and I reached out to EXO-6 to ask them, this is meant to create a backdrop. So you got a little lip section right here that will also work with the ridges around the outside, and then you have this little piece that kind of sticks out. It's meant to be like a background, so you can take something and put it in there. So if you decided to create your own background, or maybe, hey, they might even create one, you can put this along the back and then create maybe a full-on background for a transporter scene. That would be absolutely fantastic. I would love that. So I really appreciate the different options that they give you for a display. I love the fact that they can connect. I love the fact that you can create a transporter pad out of it. I think it's really cool, and is absolutely how I'm going to choose to display these guys, just because I think it works so nicely. But for his accessories, that's about it. Like I said, he comes with a pretty good amount. While some of them are just reused of that data release, it works. Okay, I don't really know what else you could have included with them. For this look on the guy, I think that the accessories that it comes with are perfectly fine. Now, coming in to take a closer look at the figure, this is an absolute remarkable recreation to Sir Patrick Stewart. They nailed this. Every aspect is just about flawless. You can see you got a little bit of that hair sculpted in there. As time went on, he did lose that. But back when this came out about 25 years ago, he still had a little bit of hair there. I also really like how they got this kind of loose under neck sort of skin section right there. Again, very accurate to how he actually looked at that time. Stern look in his face, the very iconic, I mean, that just is an absolute wonderful sort of recreation. Now, bringing in the one from Quantum Mechanics. This one was actually pretty solid as well. You can see both do a good job of looking like Patrick Stewart, but they are designed to be different times in his life. So this definitely has a little more younger of a look. You can see he doesn't have as much of that loose skin, although that is noticeable there. But I think both really recreate it. Although one thing that I'm noticing is that the original one has a little bit more of an oval shape, whereas this is a little bit more round. I do think that the shape of the head is a little bit more accurate, but the likeness is both still really very good. It's just different times in Patrick Stewart's life. Costume, though, I think is remarkably better. Now, in the film, he was wearing this little jacket of sorts, and you can see it in some scenes you can't, because it's very dark on top of a dark background, so you kind of lose some of the detail, but he was wearing this as a jacket, whereas Data's is more of a jumpsuit, and you'll see that here in a bit. But it is accurate looking. Again, the communicator looks really very nice. You got the little pips right there on his undershirt. Sew work on here looks really very solid. All the way around, really very nice. The one thing that I would say is that the jacket is padded, so it does kind of give him a little bit of a thicker sort of look. He doesn't really need that, but again, because the jacket had that, I think that this is recreated very nicely. But very simple throughout the entire thing. You got the nice black throughout the sleeves and the chest section. You got some of that stitch lining going down the side bits here. You got the little red section for the command section of Starfleet. Great pants. You can see a very nice crease going down there. And then you come down to the boots and you can see that it does have that little strap thing which keeps the pants nice and straight. Great boots. All the way around, very, very clean. Very, very nice. Overall, a stellar representation of the actual character. And then again, you got the little sections right here that you can take off if you really wanted to, but magnetically, I think that they work really good with the overall suit itself. Now, for that comparison, let's bring in a little bit more pulled back so that you can see it, that original Quantum Mechanics Captain Picard. Again, real nice representation. I think that the overall proportions of the new one is far better. And I'm fighting with his feet because it tends to wiggle a little bit. But you can also see that the new version is a little bit taller, which I think scales better, honestly. He's more that 12-inch, and it works because Patrick Stewart is about 5'10", and this is shorter, so it doesn't really work all that well. But you can see what I was talking about in terms of the suit fit. This one I always had problems with. I ended up just like putting some double-sided tape on there to kind of tighten that up and bring that in so that it doesn't bulge out here on the sides. But this is a very classic look, and I would be ecstatic if they revisited Captain Picard in the original Next Generation costume. That would look really fantastic, but there's that comparison. And for another one, here is Lieutenant Commander Data. And again, scale-wise, these work beautifully together. When you stand them back to back, as you can see, Data is a little bit taller because, as I said, Patrick Stewart is about 5'10". whereas Brent Spiner is actually 5'11", so you can see that the scale works beautifully. Data is a little bit taller than Captain Picard in this instance. And then you can also see what I was talking about. Oh, that just fell off. The suit is a little bit different, whereas you can see Data's is a one-piece jumpsuit. Captain Picard's is 2 pieces, but still very, very iconic in terms of that first contact look. I really do like the suit. They used it later on with Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and it just looks good. I don't know why I like it. It just, I don't know, has a cool kind of look to it. And I'm like, how cool is this? Finally, we have Data, we have Picard right next to each other. And honestly, now it gives me a reason to get rid of this guy. I love the way that these are turning out. Now for Picard's articulation, the head here is on a ball joint, so you get a good range of motion right down there. It's all articulated at the base of the neck, so you can rotate that left and right and all that stuff. You do have a butterfly joint, it feels like, at the shoulders, the hinge. They are on ratchet joints, so it does hold the pose very nicely. You can rotate it forward and back. And the one thing that's interesting is as you do it, the costume actually just kind of rotates automatically. That's kind of neat. You do have a upper bicep swivel. You have 2 points at the elbow for articulation. You can see that the color, though, of the body is a different color than the actual skin tone. So if that does right up, you can see that that is going to show. But honestly, it's not going to be showing really much at all. You do have the rotation and then the forward and back. But again, when you do bend it, you will see that slight different color there. So just bear that in mind. You do have a waist, ab, diaphragm rotation, all that fun stuff is right down there. The hips move forward and back. There is a little bit of restriction because of the tightness of the pants, but not terribly bad. You get rotation. You get 2 points here at the knee to bend, and then the ankles are on ball joints, so you can swivel and pivot that in and out. Now, as I was talking about, he does come with an alternate look in the show, or the movie, I should say. At some point in time, and I don't really remember exactly when, but he took off his jacket. Now, this is just a heavy-duty piece of Velcro that goes down. It's a little bit easier to pop his hands out. So just wiggle that out like that. Wiggle that out just like that. Then angle this back like so, and you can slide the jacket. This is where my girlfriend says that I'm playing with my dolls because dolls wear clothes. So she says that these are dolls. So just kind of wiggle that down, and then you're left with the underbody here. And you can see that there's a little bit of padding on the underside here. It does kind of look thin. I don't think Patrick Stewart is that terribly thin, but it does have a thinner look. But I don't think it really looks all that bad. It's something that is noticeable, but again, to me, seems fairly accurate for the most part. I am just kind of playing around with these suspenders just to kind of get those in a proper sort of configuration. I feel like his undershirt here is a little bit crooked, so just kind of wiggle that around. And then you got the other vest. This he used during the scene when they went after the Borg initially, when Data got captured. So we're just going to slip this on just like so. Pulling that up and over. But this is the look that he had. Again, I'm probably going to have to futz with this, but this is when he was going around carrying the little phaser rifle. So you could have 2 looks for the guy, which again is wonderful. I really do appreciate that ability to kind of swap parts out or costumes out and get things looking good. So now let's get that hand back on there. Let's get his, let's see, yeah, that's the one that I'm going to want. I'm going to put that on there, like that. There we go. And kind of just straighten all this out. This is where the futzing part comes into play, where you try to line up everything to get it looking as good as it should look. Because like right now, I feel like it's not looking all that good. But this is the part where I get like a little bit of OCD and try and get this looking just as perfect as I possibly can. And I'm not doing a good job. There we go. We'll go with that for now. And let's see. Let's give him his rifle because that's what we're gonna want. We're gonna play the posing game with this guy. So that, oh yeah, yeah. I mean that is fantastic. Again, this is the look that he had when they went after the Borg, when they had first started getting the Enterprise's engineering room kind of set up. I mean, that is, oh, Captain Picard looking absolutely badass. I mean, seriously, that's great. Yeah, hell, if you wanted to add more kind of realism, you could have Data hanging on the back because they were walking side by side. I mean, that looks terrific. I really am absolutely blown away by this figure. They did a remarkable job in terms of recreating the way that Patrick Stewart looked in the film. And I guess technically he also had his phaser there as well. So there we go. You can have him walking around. You can have Data kind of hanging out and following his captain into battle. But I mean, God, that is great. Isn't that great? How amazing is that? Just wow! I'm honestly beside myself. This is a great release. Now, as I talked about, this was announced just 4 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that, and here it is already. And I know that we're going to be getting a Captain Janeway before the end of the year. I almost kind of wish that they didn't give us Captain Janeway and they continued on with the First Contact line. Hopefully these aren't the only ones that we get. I would love to get the entire crew. You know, give me Commander Riker, give me Dr. Crusher. Geordi would be a great one. I would absolutely love it if they gave us the Borg Queen, maybe some just random Borg drones. I mean, so much could be done with this. And while, yeah, I'm excited that we're getting a Captain Janeway, that one's absolutely high on my list of wants. I don't know, I just have a real affinity for First Contact. I think it's a great Star Trek movie, but in all honesty, I think all of them are pretty good. But there you go, guys. There's my look at the new EXO-6 Captain Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek First Contact. If you are a Star Trek fan, this is absolutely one that I would recommend picking up. And the best part, in my opinion, is the price. At only $190, that is well below the going rate for 6 scale figures. Most of the time, the cheapest is about $250. So at that $190 price, you are getting a great value. And as a Star Trek fan, finally, amazing 6 scale representations of characters that I've grown up loving my entire life. So all of that being said, if Captain Picard is a figure that you would like to add to your collection, I'll put links right down in the video description to a couple different places where you can go and check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the wide range of EXO-6 figures. Once again, I want to send a huge shout out once again to the folks over at EXO-6 for sending this figure to me and helping to make this review possible. And as always, guys, remember, in the immortal words of Leonard Nimoy Spock, live long and prosper.